Am I the asshole for telling my MIL if she keeps rearranging my kitchen she can get a hotel room? I, 29F, am married to a wonderful man, 30M, who is also the brother of my best friend. Our heights are very different, with me being 6 feet 6 inches and him being 5 feet 7 inches. All of his family are on the short side, and it led to some adjustments in our living arrangements at first, but we found what worked for us. We realized early on that it was easier for him to use a step stool to reach what he needed in the kitchen than for me to constantly be crouching to get what I need, as that gets painful quickly for me. This was fine until my MIL came to stay with us 2 weeks ago. Her roof needs repairs, my husband and I have a spare room while my best friend doesn't, so it was only logical she come stay with us. She has constantly been moving things about in the kitchen, lowering items as she doesn't want to use the step stool, which isn't anything to do with her age or fearing she'll fall, she just doesn't want to. She keeps harping on about how it's ridiculous everything is so high up and it's rude for guests. My husband has repeatedly shut her down, stating my comfort matters more than theoretical guests, and asked her not to move things. She lets it go for a day, then things are moved again. I've expressed frustration to my husband about this, and the final straw came today when I went to make myself a coffee and could not find my coffee mugs anywhere. It took me 5 minutes to find them in my kitchen, and I found them in the lower cabinet that I had to kneel to get them out of. I was angry and snappish at this as my back had hurt from getting my mug, and I told her if she couldn't stop herself from rearranging my kitchen she could get a hotel room, as I have had enough of her entitlement. This led to a lot of blustering and some tears that she was just trying to make it make more sense, and how this is her son's home and how it's just a little reorganization and that they shouldn't all suffer just because I'm tall. She then also began to say how I'm heartless to expect her to stay in a hotel over the holidays. My husband was clearly uncomfortable at this and didn't want his mother upset, but he told her that it wasn't just his home, but mine too, and if she wouldn't respect my comfort and happiness, then she would have to leave. She has went into the guest room and I can hear her crying still. My husband is clearly getting anxious and upset over this, but he's not backing down, and I feel awful that my snapping led to him feeling like this. Maybe I should have just put up with it or been more gentle about how I dealt with it. I honestly don't care that she's upset, which may make me sound heartless, but I hate that my husband is feeling this way. Not the asshole, you stood up for yourself and gave a fair warning. I believe you've been quite patient. I appreciate that your husband is uncomfortable, but so be it, sometimes life is uncomfortable. She had plenty of opportunities to stop complaining and to stop moving things around before you drew this line. Express appreciation for your husband and just let her sit with it. TBH, I'd be wondering about past interactions with her. She seems to almost take offense to your height somehow, and I wonder if anything has ever come up about your fitter with your husband, the optics of such a statuesque person or whatnot. People are weird. Oh, she has always hated my height, especially the fact I'm most comfortable in 6-inch heels, a thing my husband adores. I have been best friends with her daughter since high school, so even before I was with her son I knew her. She made quite a few comments about how I should wear flats to prom to fit in better, than also about how I couldn't wear heels to her daughter's wedding. How about a compromise for the holiday season? Have her move 1 or 2 mugs and other items that she frequently uses to a height easy for her to reach, while leaving everything else in place. If single items such as salt and pepper shakers are out of reach, they could be relocated to a lower shelf that MIL can reach without you bending down. Is your kitchen designed oddly with the cabinets exceptionally high? My sister is 5 feet 1 inch and her husband is 6 feet 5 inches. She doesn't even own a step stool. Items seldomly used are stored on the top shelf, and on the infrequent occasion she needs them, hubby hands them to her. I don't know anyone who keeps mugs in a lower cabinet. And I'm 5 feet 1 inch. Which is exactly why it took me 5 minutes to find them, as I'd never suspected they would be there. I don't want to think it was a malicious act on her part, but why there? When I was on bed rest with my daughter, my MIL cleaned for me. I used to have a lot of knickknacks around, before the kid was mobile, lol. When I came downstairs they were all rearranged. At first I thought, well, maybe she forgot where they went after she took them off the shelves. No, she told me she thought they looked better where she put them. Oh my god, that would enrage me. And while you're on bed rest? Why would she think she gets a say in how your house looks? It's bad enough with mugs, but knickknacks which are likely sentimental? Do you know how my mum survives something very similar when her shorter self visits my average height self and tall husband? She checks which mugs and glasses are our favorites. She then chooses her own favorites from the leftover options, and each time puts one coffee mug, one water glass, and one wine glass in our bowls cupboard. Zero hassle for any of us, and saves her stretching for the drinkware as it's on the top shelf. Not the asshole, and anyone who's still crying over a reasonable reprimand is a drama queen who can be ignored until they calm themselves down. Not the asshole, the house belongs to you and your husband, so stuff should be arranged however the two of you agree it should be arranged, and Mil needs to be grateful she has family with the capacity to take her in during her roof repairs. Since your main concern is how this is affecting your husband, maybe the two of you should have a date night or something and get away from his mom for a few hours. Not the asshole. I'm 5 feet 7 inches. I can access 80% of my kitchen storage just fine, and yeah, I use a step stool for the rest. If she wants one mug kept lower, I presume that would be fine, no need to rearrange the whole cupboard.